Remember the Titans, folks. Remember the Titans, the movie. I'm trying to think, was it 2003 that film came out? Remember the Titans. I just saw it, Comeback Classics here at Cinemark. I enjoyed it. I remember seeing the movie the first time. I can't remember the year. Was it 2003? Seems about right. Denzel at his finest. Who's your daddy, son? You know, it's just good stuff. Good movie, good Denzel. The guy that plays the other coach, a lot of the word coach is said about 1,005 times in this film, between Denzel's character, the other coach, the supplanted coach. This film rings true to home for me a bit because I grew up in that area. I did not attend T.C. Williams, but I attended a school that used to play football against TC. And it was a different era, a later era for me, but they were known as a powerhouse, as they say. T.C. Williams football team was always well regarded, well respected, probably as a residue from the generation that good old this movie takes place. You've probably seen the film. If you haven't, I suggest it. Remember the Titans. You can probably see it on a number of streaming services. Denzel Washington plays a football coach who's kind of brought in the days of busing, the days of integration, I guess, was it the late 70s? And they already have a great coach at the football team who happens to be Caucasian. And so it's a whole big shtick. I'm totally not in the same parking lot of where I'm wandering about, by the way. So now I have to walk over there. You know, one of the little obscurities of this film is the cast. There's a lot of familiar faces and some people that I forgot were in this movie. Key being of one, Ryan Gosling. I guess he plays a what's the player that covers the wide receivers? Is that whatever the fuck that's called? The defensive wide receiver guy. I don't know if that's a fullback or whatever the fuck, but basically he's the coverage guy on defense. And he's kind of a marginal player, like a second stringer. But he has some good scenes, but Ryan Gosling, and he's much smaller at this point. He's super young. He probably was legit 16, 17, 18 years old in this movie as a real life person. And he just has really funny facial expressions. Like throughout the film, most of the characters are pretty serious. There is one guy who sings a lot, reminded me of the pro wrestler Keith Lee. Just a lot of singing and joviality. But this Ryan Gosling just has like this kind of humorous expression on his face throughout the movie. If you watch Remember the Titans again, keep your eyes open for Ryan Gosling. I kind of felt at times I was watching the rest of the movie through his eyes, through the character's eyes. I don't know the name of his character, but he's just very humorous. Like he's always, some loud music over there. Like he's always just being entertained by the circumstance of what's going on around him. I would like to go into my vehicle and start the ignition, but anyway, folks, I do say that the Remember the Titans holds up pretty well. I can't remember. I'm curious to go to the IMDb page. I don't know if I'll actually do this, if I'll remember, or if this will mean anything to me when I actually go on the computer. And because you always say you're going to do something on the fucking computer, and then you never actually do it. You just do other things. But maybe I will remember to go to the IMDb page of Remember the Titans and look at the cast page and kind of do a where are they fucking now on some of these actors. And like the guy that played Sunshine and the guy that played the guy, spoiler, who got put in the wheelchair. What happened to those actors? The guy who plays Sunshine, the quarterback, very familiar. I'm guessing he's famous. I just can't place his face to who he is. I just can't. Was he the guy on the Sex and the City that played Samantha's boy toy? Was that the same guy, or is that just another guy? I don't know. All these guys, even like the daughter of the coach, like the two daughters, and even, is her name Kathy something? The woman that played fucking Denzel's wife in this? Everyone's so familiar. It's a whole lot of actors in this movie that I can't remember where else they've been in. Just a lot of familiar faces. Even the guy that plays the other coach, it's not fucking the guy that always plays the president, if you know who I'm talking about. It's just, I don't know. But obviously, it's not just the Denzel show. It's kind of interesting about this movie is that, like, for 2/3 of the movie, or maybe 3/5, it's the Denzel Washington story, like his character. And then, like, the team starts overshadowing or coming, the team becomes the movie after a certain point. So, like, 60%, 50%, some points, the team, the friendships. Who knows how much of this movie is Hollywood horse shit and how much really happened. I don't fucking know. But it makes you think about things. What I found also interesting is in the postscript, where they tell you what happened to the people in real life after the movie, you see all these, names and so forth. None of these football guys went on to, like, any NFL careers. And I think only one of them had a halfway decent college career. So it goes to show you can be a great high school athlete and do diddly do shit in the big leagues or even on the college level. I was just expecting that with all the greatness and magnitude of the team, that one or two of these guys would have made a mark on the NFL, and it does not appear to have been the case. It is one of those movies, I don't know if I'd say you get a lump in your throat, but you get a little mist in your eye. This is the type of movie we could use nowadays. Like, this movie coming out in 2003, I'm sure it was relevant at the time, but I mean, fuck, in 2020 and 2021, with all the turmoil, we could have used a movie like this to bring us all together. It's good. I liked it. Denzel, man, he does have a panache. He does have a sense of humor that I think a lot of people, I guess we do know. I mean, Training Day and so forth. Like that hard talking, get under your skin, fuck with you. I mean, it really is like Denzel. I'd love to see him play a football coach again tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, he just has a great way of fucking with people when he wants to in character. I enjoyed the film. Remember the Titans. Remember the Titans. Mike Messier YouTube channel with Mike's instant movie reviews. Oft neglected. I guess people just don't know that I'm doing these things. I'm trying to save the cinema, folks. I see these internet traders are trying to save AMC, but it's just a way to make money. I'm just going to the theater and trying to keep it going because I would hate to have a generation following me that does not have the magic of the live cinema experience. I'd hate for that to happen. Of course, on your computer screen, you can watch The Impeccable. You can watch So You're the Guy. You can watch Messier Peace Theater. Ox Baker, one of the boys in the 3,000 view range. Thank you very much. A wonderful high metric of watch time retention. Thank you all very much for enjoying Ox. And on behalf of Ox, he thanks you as well from the great beyond. He wanted that to be his goodbye movie. His goodbye to all his fans. Thank you. Wrestling Son, Memories of My Parents' Divorce with Eliminator John Kronus, Killer Kowalski, some guys from Combat Zone Wrestling. Of course, Blood Sugar Sid Ace, now on the Mike Messier YouTube channel. Thanks to Damon Campagnana, Stacey Forbes, the actress who played Sugar, all the wonderful people who joined us. That was a fun night, wasn't it? For those of you that watched. Victorious, The Battle for Sanity. I think Damon was in on there. That was a nice night. I don't have any preview nights, but look, put the little bell notification for all the Mike Messier excitement. I really do feel that I have one of the most unique and original YouTube channels going. And as I've said to folks, By all means, you don't have to watch all the videos, but there's something on this channel for just about everyone, unless you suck. So, thank you. Suicide Girls Burlesque, archived footage, very sexy women, tattooed, pierced, and so forth. Celebrity interviews. Mike's Rants, my Tom Brady thing. I'm in the middle of my Tom Brady, making a comparison to Atlas Shrugged. In the middle of that two-parter, we've got one part done. All the wonderful things I provide for you, the hospital bed, the never was, these short films, tons of Messier mantras, people you might know, people you may not. Wonderful conversations, the podcast with Tom Kane and Barry Primus, Hollywood heavy hitters, MICHAEL McGLONE, the GEICO man, and one of the brothers McMullen. All these wonderful things on the Mike Messier YouTube channel. You have to dig around. I mean, I've got so many videos. It's piping hot material. Carl Kate has become a cult favorite. Johnny Z, check it in. Always liking Carl's videos. Mistress Jen, haven't heard a comment from her in a while. Hope she's okay. All these wonderful people. Distance from Avalon book, now available on Amazon. A Distance from Avalon, I should say. A Distance from Avalon. One day I'll tell you why the A got put in the mix. A Distance from Avalon, as you can see in the descriptions, available for sale. Thanks to the two people that have bought them so far. A new friend, Aletta, female, was the first one to buy, followed by Rob Clarkin. Promote cultural revival with Rob Clarkin. Purchase his copy tonight. I'm looking into doing a live event, a release party of the book. Hold your dicks for that one, folks. So, Mike Messier YouTube channel. You can even go to IMDb, and guess what? There's some videos you can see on IMDb of mine. My IMDb page is exclusive Mike Messier content on IMDb. I'm not sure if you have to be a pro member or just a standard member. My Vimeo, don't forget my Vimeo. I know, it's exciting. But you can go to Vimeo if you want, if you prefer Vimeo over YouTube. I don't know why you would. Well, maybe why you wouldn't. All these wonderful things. As far as this social distancing, folks, I have a way of behavior. I go out in public, but I like to be alone in public. And I know. That was my way before this whole goddamn COVID shit. I like to go places in public that are public places where there's just not a lot of other people. That's why you'll very rarely see me in New York City. You'll never see me on a subway if I can help it. No offense to those that ride the subway or live in New York City. It's just too many people. I can't be able to elbow with other human fucking beings. I need my space. What am I watching on YouTube? I'm watching My Giant Life. This reality show, I guess, was taped in 2015, I believe, from the A&E or the Discovery Channel, and it's about tall women. It's an interesting show. There's a woman who's 6'6". There's a woman who's 6'9". You don't really think about women that tall, but there are some women that tall, and so these women are going through life. They're trying to be sexual, trying to be sensual, trying to have relationships with men, and they're tall. And so it's quite interesting because they're going through life as these women, and of course everybody says to them, hey, you're tall, and they're like, yeah, I get that. I've been tall for a while, you fuck. But these poor women are trying to do things, trying to be feminine, and wear dresses and get married, and they're very tall. So it's just something you don't think about until you do. So I guess that's why they have these reality shows, to show you things that you weren't thinking about until you did. For those of you that are experiencing chapped hands, I recommend Working Hands. It's a green canister, but the goo inside is white, and you put it on your fingernails and your fingertips, and you get a nice medicated sensation. Your hands feel better. I've used a lot of this. I think I've had this container for maybe 3 years now. I don't eat a lot of it, especially where I'm at now. But back when I was in New England, I would use this stuff all the time because my poor little fingers would get cracked from the winter coldness. So The crisp air is what I was trying to say. MikeMessier.com. Subscribe, like. And the best thing you can do, folks, if you're enjoying these videos, they're for everyone. Share them. Share the link. Copy and paste the URL into your favorite social media platform of choice. Say, gee whiz, this guy is so profoundly interesting. I feel like he's guiding me through life. He's the invisible whisper in my ear, the whisper in the wind, the tonsil in my tongue, telling me what to do with my life. So I might be doing some more life lessons videos, whatever you folks want to suggest. I've had people come out of the woodwork demanding to do interviews with me. There was a gentleman who was a reference who wanted to do a film interview. I forgot all about him. We were talking in October, and it hasn't happened yet, but I'm sure I'll get around to it. Mike Messier, remember the Titans, YouTube, and all that crap. Have a good weekend.